Hello everyone, welcome back to the another episode of Proverbs a Day Keeps the Enemy Away. Today we are going to explore the chapter 4 of Proverbs. For today's meditation, we took the verse from chapter 4, verse 15. It reads like this: Avoid it, do not travel on it, turn from it and pass on. It is very familiar passage which we oftentimes learned in our Sunday school days. Proverbs is simply understood as the book of wisdom. In book of Proverbs, we could understand four main things. That is, first one, we could understand it's understood as the book of wisdom. Secondly, it urges us to be wise in our day-to-day life. Thirdly, we can understand two things, that is a good path and the bad path. It's a contradiction between good and evil. So, book of Proverbs, it compiles the theme which conveys us to be wise always in our day-to-day life. So, turning back to the verse which we read, chapter 4, verse 50. It contains four main points in that verse. So first one, we can see the term avoid it. So what it means to us, avoid it. So we can see in the earlier verse, that is 14th verse, we can see, do not enter the path of wicked and do not go in the way of evil people. So what it urges to be avoid is just go away from the path of wicked. So avoiding wicked's path is the important theme which gives us. And secondly, we can see do not travel on it. So I want to tell you a small story. Once there was an old person who went for a drive with his small children. So he took his car and he just gone for a drive, and on going through the roads, one person on the roadside, he just raised his hand and asked for a lift. So what happened, this old man, he gave the permission to get into this car. So almost the car is fully packed, but still this old man gave the chance to get into this car. So later what happened is, while going through this car, the person who came into this car, he asked the old man to give his car to drive. So what happened, the old person gave his car to drive. So at the end of this story, what happened is, this man was a thief who came into this car, and the whole car and the old man and the children were took to the darkness. So this is the same way. So traveling is very interesting thing for all of us. We oftentimes love to travel in different places. But let me ask you, are our journeys, our travels are driven by God or the evil? So let me urge you to be wise. So let God be the driver of our journey, our life's journey. So don't allow any other evil to come into our life and stray away from our focus. Thirdly, we can see that is turn from it. That passage contains four things. So third point is turn away from it. So oftentimes while we are going through the roads, we can see there is a signboard which contains U-turn. So what U-turn means? It is simply the way which we covered, or just we can undo the roads which we covered. So what the passage tells us, what the verse tells us is just turn from it. Turning from it. From where we should turn from? From the path of evil, from the wicked's path. So let me urge all of you to turn from the wicked's path and turn from the evil's path and be in the right path which God gives us. Fourth and final one, that is pass on. So understanding all these three things, and finally it conveys us to pass on. Telling three things, avoiding it, and do not travel on it, and finally it tells us to pass on. So let me tell you one final thing. In verse 23 we can see, keep your heart with all watchfulness, for out of it come the issues of life. So let me tell you, keep your heart with all watchfulness. That is what the final term conveys us. So as we go on in our life, we should keep our heart with all watchfulness. Evil things, enemies will come around, will distract our life, but definitely we should keenly observe what is happening and be wise enough to understand what is good and what is bad. So let me urge all of you to be wise in your life, and may God bless you all, and let God enable you to be wise in your life.
Proverbs 4. Hear, my children, the instruction of a father, and give attention to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine. Do not forsake my law. When I was my father's son, tender and the only one in the sight of my mother, he also taught me and said to me, let your heart retain my words. Keep my commands and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and in all get understanding. Exalt her, and she will promote you. She will bring your honor when you embrace her. She will place on your head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory. She will deliver to you.
Hear, my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in right paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered, and when you run, you will not stumble. Take firm hold of instructions, do not let go. Keep her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of evil. Avoid it, do not travel on it. Turn away from it and pass on, for they do not sleep unless they have done evil. And their sleep is taken away unless they make someone fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is like the shining sun, that shines ever brighter unto the perfect day.
But the way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know what it makes them stumble. My son, pay attention to what I say. Turn your ears to my words. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart. For they are life of those who find them, and health to one's whole body. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Keep your mouth free from perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the path for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil.